Good morning. What an introduction. I think I should just say what he said and sit down. It is profound and epic, but for me it's personal. And after serving as your governor for 7.5 years, it really gives me an opportunity to thank Tracey for sticking with me for all these years, for her service as First Lady for the last 7.5 years, for this tremendous work that she's done. And it's always been in collaboration. And look at all the people in the room who have been part of this and who are part of our efforts to bring literacy to our state, from our Secretary of Education to legislators to the mayor to all of you, to the fellows who worked with children in the neighborhoods. There's nothing more important than the work that we're doing around literacy here in our state. And we got a lot of work to do. That's the sad news. We got a lot of work to do. We've got so many people, so many great people in this room who are doing the work. And this is just a fun way to kick off a statewide library tour. And I want to thank Dr. Norman for her leadership and all the folks in from the libraries. How about a round of applause for Dr. Norman and the work they do? I see Dr. Mark Brainerd has entered the room, leading our Delaware Technical and Community College. Thanks, Mark, for the tremendous work that you do. This tour, this statewide tour, I was in Lewis just the other day, and we had a big press conference with bill signings on housing initiatives that just passed the legislature. And if you haven't been to the library in Lewis, you need to go. And they were really anticipating, I don't think it's on the tour, but I'm telling you, they were anticipating getting a visit from Tracey and the team. And I'm sure that all the libraries across the state are going to have that same anticipation of the tour. It gives us an opportunity, Dr. Norman, to kind of show off a little bit with the incredible investment that we've made using mostly federal money, close to $50 million, another $20 to $30 million of state funding for new libraries and to enhance existing libraries. And this book, by the way, the book is in English and Spanish. And Maria, I think we're going to read it over at the LACC later today. Now, if I paid more attention to Sister Assumption in my 4 years of Spanish, I might be able to read it. But I didn't do so well in that regard. But it is, again, an opportunity to touch every community and to send a message that we're all one and that literacy is an important thing that brings us together. I want to thank Tracey for her efforts with this book. And Emily, where's Emily, who did the illustrations? She's over there with little Shep. He's not quite literate yet, but he's on the way. I just want to say thank you, heartfelt thank you to all of you for helping with this incredibly important initiative to make sure that all our children can read, every single one of them proficiently by 3rd grade. We got a lot of work to do. And this effort, engaging young people and their families in libraries across our state, is going to be a really important part of that. And I should mention James Spadola as well for his organization, Read Aloud, and the great work that they do as well. Tracey, this is amazing. It's profound. As Jamara said, it's epic. But for me, it's personal. Thank you very much for your great work. We got an Arthur in the house.
I wasn't nervous till Jamar's introduction. That's a really, I hope that person shows up. Thank you all for being here this morning. It means a lot. And thanks to Jamar and his team for hosting in this, what I always find to be a very inspiring setting. In a few minutes, we will welcome some more of the true VIPs of this event. early learners from Stubbs, St. Michael's, and the Y. We already have some here. The kids are always the most important people in any audience, so thanks to those who have brought them. Everyone in this room pretty much everyone in this room has been an essential, valued partner of First Chance Delaware. Thank you, friends, for how each of you and the organizations you represent has supported the goals and vision of First Chance. A lot of our work has been about moving the needle where it desperately needs to move. Culture shift level stuff in areas like youth mental health, early education, eradicating hunger, and building communities of hope with wraparound services for families. We've known all along that we would not get to the finish line with a lot of those jobs, and we've made no apologies for it. In fact, we've taken pride in engaging in generational work. With Books for Blue, there actually is a finish line of sorts, and it's today. And again, thank you for being part of it. We've intentionally called this a reading tour and not a book launch because we don't want it to be just about one book. We want it to be about early language experiences toward healthy brain development and school readiness. Because we know if we want to meet the third grade reading benchmark, we need to start pre-reading skills long before anybody shows up at kindergarten. We want today and all of our reading tour stops this summer and fall to be about the library habit, the value and joy of lifelong learning, and about how literacy activities can strengthen family and community connections. Most of all, we want our reading tour to be about kids, about our responsibility to them, including our responsibility to nurture their promise, to see each of them for who they are, and to listen and talk with, not just to and about them. I hope you will recognize those messages when we read Books for Blue in a little bit. Let me just thank a few partners who have been directly involved in the production and publication of Books for Blue, as well as in many other projects along the way. First, I'm going to go ask for another round of applause for Emily Hirschman. She hates it, but deserves it. And as a few of you know, Emily comes, in fact, from a family of artists, and among them, her grandfather, who's here, who is a quite famous and accomplished natural history artist. So we're delighted to have him. Emily's grandmother was also a natural history artist, mostly of children's books, and you'll see Emily is wearing her pearls today. So we honor Emily and the family of artists that she represents. And actually, we do thank Baby Shep. He was important in this because most of these illustrations were done when she was on maternity leave. So if it weren't for Shep, this might be a very boring book with none of these beautiful pictures. Second, I do want to go back to our state librarian, Dr. Annie Norman, and Nemours pediatric psychologist and director of external affairs, Dr. Megan Walls, who reviewed each draft of the text to make sure it was trauma-informed, age-appropriate, and otherwise not off the rails. Third, I want to thank Casey Family Programs, represented today by my friends Christopher Church and Deshaun Nixon, who's somewhere. In addition to funding the publication of Books for Blue, our partners at Casey, as much as, if not more than anyone else, gave me the confidence to pursue an active, ambitious agenda through their First Spouse Initiative program, with ongoing technical and personal support. Thanks to our friends at Syncredit Press, editors and translators, thanks to our friends who are doing our ASL translation today, as always. You're going to hear me read the book in English this morning, as John mentioned. The Spanish text will be printed on this edition on the same pages. Books for Blue is also available in an English Haitian Creole edition. Again, thanks to all of you. It has been an amazing run with 4+ months to go. So as soon as we're done here today, we'll get back to work. And now, as I often have the privilege to do, I'll introduce an actual expert, as well as a true friend, our state librarian, Annie Norman.
Good morning. This is really bittersweet for me. At the end of a fabulous administration, in libraries, We are very fortunate, and we appreciate the bipartisan support. Everyone loves libraries, yay! And each administration has, I would say, it's this friendly competition. You know, we're going to support libraries even more. But they have set, the Carney administration, the Carneys have set the bar really, really high for the next administration. Thank you. And a lot of that is also due to my boss, who I see has snuck in the room without saying hello. Secretary Bullock is here. So Secretary of State, the Department of State is also very supportive. So the first Tracey is a wonderful supporter of children and literacy and libraries. She is an advisor to the Delaware Literacy Alliance because supporting literacy for children is a generational issue, and we are improving literacy throughout the lifespan. The first Tracey launched the first library cards for children, which you'll see on display around the room. My first Delaware library card for the little ones, and make sure you take a photo, it's a great photo op when they get their card. The super card, because every child can be a superhero, and the teen card as well. The Carneys launched Dolly Parton's Imagination Library for preschoolers. It's important to Dolly that disadvantaged children are not singled out. So all preschoolers are eligible to receive a free book in the mail each month, from birth up until their 5th birthday. Delaware is one of 6 states that recently were offering a full bilingual option. Early on, the Carneys participated in Delaware Library's Passion Poster campaign. You can see the posters in this tiny little display here. Whatever your passion, Delaware Libraries support it. Tracey's passion is writing, and the children's book that she is launching today is about libraries. We want every child to have the kid in a candy store or kid in a library experience to find the magic book that sparks their love of reading for a lifetime. Thank you to the first Tracey and the governor for their magical support of children and Delaware libraries. It's an honor to work with you. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Deshaun Nixon, and it's an honor to be here today at the Wilmington Public Library, a place that embodies the spirit of learning and community. I'm privileged to represent Casey Family Programs, an organization that, since its founding in 1966 by Jim Casey, has been dedicated to improving the safety and success of vulnerable children and their families throughout the nation. Today is a very special day for me, being able to work alongside the first spouse, Tracey Carney. Kind of back up a little bit to go for Casey's mission. Our mission is straightforward, but profound. It's to provide and improve foster care, and ultimately to prevent the need for it altogether. That is a powerful statement all on its own. So one of our most cherished partnerships at Casey Family Programs has been with the first spouse, Tracey Carney. Her advocacy for children and families deeply resonates with our work. In October of 2022, we were proud to partner with her on the First Spouses Youth Mental Health Summit, which addressed the crisis for youth mental health. Today, as we celebrate the power of books and storytelling, I want to take this time to recognize how these tools help to connect us, how they help us to understand one another's stories and experiences and inspire us to build a better future for all children. We at Casey Family Programs appreciate all the work that Tracey has done, and we look forward to collaborating with her and to improve the lives of children and families. Through our partnership, we have been able to amplify the voices of young people and ensure that their stories and experiences are at the heart of our efforts. And so from Casey Family Programs, we appreciate Tracey's unwavering commitment and her advocacy for all parents and their families for a brighter future. And so I want to say thank you from Casey Family Programs. Thank you.
Can hold it up here? We'll take turns, okay? Can you hold that? Hold it right. It might take two hands, I don't know. Hold it right there. Can you hold it real still? Good job. Thank you. Okay, you guys have already had story time downstairs, right? So you up for one more book? I guess you kind of moved around because you had to walk upstairs, so maybe you'll be able to sit for a little longer. This is called Books for Blue, and the words are going to show up there. I'm going to read it in English, and the words are going to show up there in English and Spanish, okay? That way you'll be able to see the pictures better. Meet baby blue hen, nicknamed just Blue, the youngest one here and the smallest one too. The family gives lots of help, no doubt, and a few suggestions Blue could do without. I don't think Blue likes that one outfit very much. Today is a favorite, library day, and Blue hurries out with an excited hooray. With a library card made for each one, the family follows. It's gonna be fun. Anybody else want to try? Next. Mama picks a book titled The First State. Blue likes how it looks, but not its great weight. Nonfiction, says Mama, full of what's true. And sometimes opinion, she cautions to Blue. We can find a kid's version of this, I'll bet, Mama offers. Blue smiles, thanks, but not yet. That's a big book for little Blue to hold, isn't it? Pops chooses a book from the fiction. Pops chooses a book from the fiction aisle. A favorite author, he says, grinning. Just my style. Pops thinks out loud. We can learn a lot from imagined tales about creatures we're not. We can find an author you like, I'll bet, Pops offers. Blue smiles. Thanks, but not yet. Blue's sister, Silky, brother, Rock, and friends read such different books, Blue thinks the choices don't end. Rock Patch Blue's end. You don't have to be sure. Just keep looking to learn what you're looking for. We can find a hobby for you, I'll bet, Sophie offers. Blue smiles. Thanks, but not. Finding the right book can seem quite a task. Blue thinks for a while, then feels ready to ask. Blue visits the children's library in Dutch and waves back to all, thank you very much. How can I help? Dutch offers. Matching kids with good books is just what I do. Blue takes a deep breath. Take a deep breath. And answers. We read a book in my class, so it's for my age, about elephants who don't want to live in a cage. It was a made-up story, but still told the truth, like how an elephant's tusk is really a tooth. I'd like to see if you have that very same book, and more by the author. Look. Dutch smiles, and the whole family does too. We feel quite proud of and inspired by it. Blue uses the Made for Kids library card to check out 2 books, not too easy or hard. Blue whispers, what if my choices are good? Dutch says, you've been as thoughtful as anyone could. You change your mind, or if these don't delight, we'll keep trying, Dutch waves, to find something just right. Now you can start to say the end.
The end.
That's Books for Blue. And again, we don't want our reading tour to be just about that one book. I brought one of my other favorites from the Dolly Parton Imagination Library collection. You can see some of the other favorite books that people who are attending today picked out. Emily made a beautiful little display up there by the podium. And I want to thank you all. We're a wonderful audience. Thank you very much. Please enjoy Books for Blue.